and welcome to the Beginner's Collage course. Today's video is going to be all about mixed media. Go ahead and break out your stamps, stencils, paints, inks. We're going to be having a lot of fun. Come join me. Hey y'all, it's Jennifer. Thank you for stopping by today. I'm so excited to have you here with me. We're going to be playing with a mixed media today. Along with our paper, we're going to be adding in stencils, stamps, paints, inks, napkins. We're going to be doing lots of fun things and techniques to add to interest to our collages, and I can't wait for you to come along with me. So let's go to my craft table and get started. So today I'm going to be starting off with an 8x10 watercolor paper. If you do have gesso, you could pull that out also today whenever you go to start working with paints. And I'll let you know about that. I don't personally have any gesso. I do have it on my wish list because I don't really play. I'm just starting to really play with paints on my collages and stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and collage this page first. And then I want to use this really pretty napkin. So to do that, I cut off a panel. I'm going to take that first layer of backing off, and sometimes there's more than one layer to these backs. So I just want to make sure I get every layer off. I think that's the only one. It kind of looks like it might have another one. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Because we want just this back piece, this front piece here, without any of the white on it. So it'll show through when we use it. And I think these colors go really well with these papers. They're like celestial type papers. And then I'm going to use some lace to anchor it. So today I am going to be doing the watered down glue method. So I'm just going to take some Elmer School glue. And I used this container last time, so I have some dry glue left in there. I just added a little bit of water. Oops. I kind of glue just went everywhere. Okay. Wipe this glue off my finger. And I would suggest using like a jar, a little throwaway container. And I'm just going to mix this up. And you want to use a 1-to-1 ratio. So you don't want it too watered down or it's not going to have the stickiness that you want when it dries. And I like to just kind of test it out with my fingers, let it dry a little bit and see how tacky it gets. This feels good. To use this glue method, I am going to take a little bit on my brush. Make sure I'm in frame for you guys. And just go ahead. And the reason why I am using this method today is because I'm not journaling in my collage. I'm not collaging in my journal. And I want to be able to keep this one and seal it so I could frame it or whatever I want to do with it later to hang up. So I really want everything sealed in. So now I'm going to go, once I have it on the bottom, I need a little bit more glue right here. Maybe it dried too fast before I got it down. Then you want to go on top. And you definitely want to make sure we get these edges sealed in really good. You definitely don't want your edges coming up. And I'm just using an old paintbrush for this. And I'm going to go ahead and just continue. I might leave some of these whole. I think I might want to leave. You could also paint, put the glue on the back of the paper. And also, I have some on my Christmas wish list. If you like to buy different products, you could also use medium matte gel or matte gel medium as a glue and adhesive to put down your collage papers. And you would do the same thing that I'm doing with the watered down glue. You'd go on the paper with it, the gel medium, and then you'd come on top and do your sides like so. But I'm not one to ever really buy a lot of art products. I like to kind of make do with what I have at home. So I usually don't run out and buy like matte medium or like Mod Podge unless I absolutely need it. But now that I'm working with more mixed media, I do want to get some of that matte medium just to try it out and see how much better maybe it is than the just watered down glue method. See which one I prefer. So I do have those on my Christmas wish list, and I think my kiddos are getting some of the art supplies off my Amazon wish list. So if I get those after Christmas in January, we're probably going to be doing a like mixed media series where I go over different techniques and stuff. Because I want to get a jelly plate. That's on my list too. And I think one of the kiddos said, yeah, they're getting me that for sure. So I'm super excited. We could do prints. We do all sorts of stuff with a jelly print. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get that to share. Okay, see there's bubbles in here. I'm going to just peel this back and make sure, because I'm using watercolor paper and it's cold pressed, it's very textured. So I want to make sure I get glue on the bottom and the top and seal that in. Okay, so I'll continue doing this for however long it takes. Well, let me show you guys, and then I'll speed it up a little bit. Let me show you how I want to put in a panel maybe of the napkin. Maybe I'll put it here. Or maybe I'll put it this way. Okay, so since this is really, really thin, I'm just going to do a really nice thin layer here. I'm going to make sure you get it all over your paper. Where we want to lay it down. Now, I'm not I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I don't mind if my napkins get textured when I put them down. Some people like no wrinkles, and I have methods for getting no wrinkles, but I'm not going to be doing that today. I just really want to just get this down. I don't care if it makes wrinkles. That'll just add for texture. You do want to be careful when you're going on top of it, though. I went a little bit too rough right there. See, I just brought up a little bit of my napkin. This one's very, very thin. I'm going to go over it very lightly. You do want to put some pressure because we need to get those air bubbles out. But this napkin, this napkin's super thin. I'll just take it off. It'll add to just the interest in the texture. And I usually use a sponge brush for my napkin parts because it just seems to be softer and gentler getting the glue on that way with the sponge paint brushes. But I can't find what I did with it. So I'm just going over it with this paintbrush. It'll work. But you see, it is a little rougher on the napkin. Just want to make sure I go completely to the edge here, get these edges sealed. All right. And that's how you decoupage a napkin on paper with the watered down glue method. Okay, so I'll finish up creating this collage and I'll check back in with you guys when I'm done. Okay, now since this is wet, I am going to bring in my little heating tool here and just give it a quick dry. Okay, so I have this pretty much dry to where it's a tacky consistency. It's not completely dry, but it's dry enough. And I'm just going to kind of help it unfold here. So next, if you wanted to play with paints and you want to protect your bottom papers here, or even some people even use it to cover it up, but you can go ahead and use some white gesso in different spots. You don't have to go over the entire thing. You can just go over where you want to put your paint at, and then the paint won't seep through and wet the whole paper again. It'll just and also the gesso creates toothiness, like grit, I believe. So if you have that, you can go ahead and use that today. I don't have any of that, but I do want to play with paints, and I'll just draw my pages in between. Let's see, where's my other stencil? So I have this stencil I might do a few designs with. And then I have this heart stencils, different types of hearts. I might use this, maybe. Let's see. I can't find all my other, I have a bunch of other stencils. I kind of do like want to use these maybe just for the lines, not necessarily to make a heart, but maybe just to go in with some of these lines here. Let's do that. I'm going to break out just some old ceramic plate I use to put paints on. What colors should I, oh, let me do this pretty blue. And I'm just using this, really cheap acrylic paint from like the Dollar Tree, I think it's from. And I have a little sponge here. So I think it works best when you use like sponges with your stencils instead of like painting, because you kind of want to like tap it in like that. And you can make it dark as light as you want. Just add more paint. Okay, let's pull this up. And look how cute that came out. So then we could just go around in different spots. Load up with a little bit of paint. We don't need much. And I'm trying to stay on where it's kind of the paper's lighter at. It'll come up better. Okay, so that one kind of made a little splooge right there, but I'm okay with that. It's all about creating just interesting textures. And I'm gonna just move this up. Maybe put a little bit right here. It might have been because I had too much paint also. Just dab it in and see what it does. Oh, that makes a cute little stuff right there. Okay, maybe I pick up that one. Let's see. Maybe we add some of these fun little triangles here in a different color. Should we do, oh, let's do orange instead of pink. This pretty bright orange. It'll pick up the oranges from the collage. And I might just turn my sponge. Make sure I don't have too much. Oh, this color is so pretty with this. Look at that. Oh, that came out so pretty. Let's do it maybe this way over here. Make sure I'm in frame. Oh, and also if you're working with watercolors, gesso would definitely help with, I believe your watercolor, because you have to use a lot of water with that, so it won't saturate your page or make it hold onto that water. I'm really loving this orange with this blue. It's really working together nicely. I think I want to put maybe a partial one right here. So you don't have to do the whole stencil. You could just do a little piece of the stencil, maybe coming off the page there. Maybe I could do one up here this way. Oh, I like that. It is really pulling those colors together. Okay, so maybe I leave paint alone now. Or we could do some stamping. I also did bring some cellophane here. This is from an egg carton, the inside. Let's see what this does. I'm gonna just do it in the orange right here. See what happens. Okay, so it's probably gonna do like these a little group of 4 lines, dots together. Kind of, guess now we gotta go everywhere and put these around. Balance it out. That's fun, huh? It's always fun to try new things. So we have like this bottle cap too we could do. Maybe we take it in the blue and put it around our little 4 dots. That is so fun. Do some down here. Oh, I love that. And then I'm not even using the whole thing. You could make it use the whole cap if you want. I'm gonna just go around and put a bunch of these blue circles everywhere. Fun, fun. And then eventually we're gonna like put an image there. Get them off. I forgot to grab me. I forgot to grab something to wipe my fingers with. Okay, what did I want to do next? Oh, let's do some stamping. I'll have some stamps out. Now you could stamp with paint if you want to keep going with the paint route. I think I have enough paint for my desires here. I think I do want to add a little bit of script stamping, but before I need to dry this layer. So each time you add a layer for mixed media, whether it's paint or inks or anything, you want to give that a second to dry. Now it's set. Now the paint's not completely dry, but it's set. But I wanted to show you how we have like the subtle flat texture of the stencil in the back. And then on the top, if you could see, I don't want to touch it yet because it's still wet, but the thickness of the paint that we used with that, the little egg carton and the little bottle cap here has made it like a raised up. So when it dries, it's going to be super textured. Love that. I'm going to go ahead and I wanted to do some script stamping. First, I'm going to use my archival black ink from Ranger. I love this stuff. You always want to try to use, if you're collaging and you want it to last, you definitely want to use archival quality glues and inks and stuff for your collages. Oh, I love adding a little bits of script too. I find it just really, I don't know, adds an extra little touch that helps bring everything out together. And I don't know if I'm going to put too much right here. I think I'm either going to put an image on this side or maybe this side. Might put one on this side and have the space open here. So it kind of helps. You don't have to have a total plan and know where you're going with it, but it kind of helps to have an idea of what you want to do with your collage. So when you go to place your items, you have a better. See, some of my paint was still wet and it got on my stamp. Let me clean that off later when I'm done. I think that came out really lovely. I'm going to do some more stamping. I think I might want to use this. Oh, no, not circles, because we got a bunch of circles. Maybe I do like this ticket stamp here, but I might not use the whole stamp. Let's try it in this Distress Oxide vintage photo. Just want to see. Oh, is my stuff dried out? Very, very faintly. Oh, so faint you can barely even pick it up. Okay, so I think it's been a couple years since I had that. Let me use my brown in here. I love this brown in here. It's really pretty, actually. These are super juicy. These are little mini ink pad acid-free pigments. I think I got those from Michael's. Well, maybe it's just the paper. It's barely there we go. You can see that one really nice right there. It's just going to be a faint, just a faint little background. It might not even pick it up on camera. That's how light it came out. Like right here, very faint. Right, you can see it right here a little bit better. You can see it a little bit right here. Came out really nice, but I like that. It's subtle, and it does add some visual interest. Okay, so we've used inks, we've used paints, we've used paper, we've used napkins. Let's see, I wonder what these soft pastels would do. Let's see if we can add maybe a little purple. Where's my purple? And maybe we just do this and just rub it in. Ooh, I like that. And it just gives it like this grunginess. Maybe put a little bit right here. Just rub it in. Oh, I love that. And it ties in, brings that purple in from the napkins. Purple and orange is complementary. Blue and orange is complementary. So all these colors really work together. Oh, it came out gorgeous. I absolutely love how this turned out. So I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to go wash my fingers and I'll be right back. Now that I have my background finished, I'm going to let it dry and I'm going to take you guys on a little journey and show you how to seal your mixed media collages with a fixative spray and then some polyacrylic. Step 1, safety. Let's do our projects outside in the open air. Step 2, we are going to spray our fixative in a thin layer over our entire collage piece. Step 3 is then putting a thin layers of your particular varnish. In my case, I'm using polyacrylic here. And I am going to be doing 2 thin layers, letting them dry in between each layer. And I want to make sure I get over every piece of edge of paper, underneath papers, in between my texture paste, and just really make sure I get in there and get everything nice and sealed. So here's what your collages can look like after you seal them with the polyacrylic. Since there was stamping and gold leaf, I did spray this one with the fixative spray that I have from Mod Podge. It's an acrylic sealer. This one I think I did 2 or 3 layers on these. I think I did 2 layers on here because I thought 2 layers was just enough. I did not pour. Some people do like to pour theirs on. I don't like to pour it because I feel like it seeps too much into the paper and it's too glossy and it just looks like crap to me. So 2 layers I find is perfect. It gives it that nice, everything is sealed in, but you still get to feel the texture of everything, which I really love. There's the second one. It worked really well for my big collage here. I did have some paint that I sealed in with the fixative along with the inks, because if you don't spray that fixative over your paint and inks to seal that in first, when you go to put the polyacrylic on top, it will bleed through and smear and smudge. So this one came out really nice too. And I like how with the polyacrylic, it doesn't make it super, super stiff. Like you could still bend this a little bit and like unwarp your paper and stuff. I really love that. And this one, I did put like 3, I think it was, layers of polyacrylic on here because I really wanted to get in between all my little paper bits. So I didn't spray this one with a fixative because it's just paper. It doesn't have any inks or paints or anything that's gonna move around when it gets wet. But it did a really good job of going in between these papers and really sealing everything in. And then I matted the whole thing onto a watercolor paper because eventually I'm going to frame this one. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you learned a lot and found a little bit of inspiration to break out your craft supplies you have around and create some mixed media collage art. Until I see you next time. Bye.